Okay, I'm making a quick video here on my Nissan. Well, actually, it's not mine. My boss's. The Nissan 3.3 Nissan Frontier 2002. The issue that I was having initially was the knock sensor, which I replaced after a while of trial and error. That was my first time doing it. Eventually ended up changing everything. I put in new spark plugs, wires, the rotor and distributor cap. I had to change this hose because it was brittle and it broke on me. What else did I do? This little hose right here was leaking. And now the other issue was the famous front brake caliper sticking. Initially I thought it was just one tire that was sticking, which was this one, the driver's side. It's spinning freely now, as you can see, but it wasn't when I first got it. I started messing around, looking around and online. Somebody told me it was a ABS actuator. I doubt it because it was working fine prior to it locking up. This thing had very little fluid in it. This thing seems to be working properly. One of the videos that I watched was about the brake pedal. Somehow under here, down there somewhere at the end of the pedal, there's a switch that for some reason that I didn't know about, somebody was messing around, because the initial complaint was that the light was staying on, the back light tail, the brake light was staying on. So that's what I was told. So when I first got it, it was just stuck. So I thought it was the brake caliper, so I went and bought a brand new one, which is okay, but I could have saved that expense. Somebody said something about the brake lines being bad. I just came under here, right at the end of the brake pedal. At the end of it, there's that little switch up there that I don't know if you could see it good. That I guess holds the lights from coming on or whatever. I just pushed the pedal back with my hand. I just forced it a little bit back, and I just solved the problem of having to go trial and error and finding, search and destroying every part. This thing is not sticking anymore. It rotates freely even after I step on the brake as many times as I want. I can step on the brake as many times as I want, and it will not freeze on me anymore. Whew, man, did I bite the bullet? Did I dodge a bullet? I read so many videos, it's hard to imagine, people, through trial and error tell you, okay, is this, is that, is this, is that, is this, and that. But once you fix it, you're okay, This thing had a check engine light, and it seems that after I changed the knock sensor, it hasn't come back on. So the reason it says brake right now is because I have the brake pedal, the parking brake on. What else? One short story. Once I started working on this vehicle, I was so excited that I consider myself a mechanic. I went to school for mechanics, but I haven't done it in a while. But when I started changing the knock sensor, I was so excited that I took out the upper intake, the lower intake, and I saw everything pulled apart, and I replaced the knock sensor. It only has one bolt on it. But I started putting everything back together, and lo and behold, there was one cable that was out of place. So I was thinking, maybe where, I didn't want to think that I had left the knock sensor disconnected, because I was so excited to put it in that I forgot to put the electrical power back in. So it was true, I admit it. I messed up. I had to take everything back apart. My second problem was the gaskets that I bought were not the original gaskets. They were Felpro gaskets, which are kind of thick, and they were causing the manifold to leak water outside or coolant outside, and I was like, oh my god. So I had to take it apart again. I bought a new set of gaskets. Same thing happened. That was my third time taking it apart. The fourth time I used the same gaskets that came with the car when I took it apart, which were metal gaskets. I guess those are better quality. They come from the factory. I don't know what the deal is. You could probably get them at the store for more money. I think they're like $64 for the set. But I got it out finally. I put it back in. I used the old gaskets. It worked like a charm. It's not leaking anywhere. I've seen videos where people complain about the car leaking, from the manifold. But anyway, I'm done with this car. It took me 2 weeks. I can't believe it took that long. I'm a new guy. You can come in whatever you want, but I did it, and I'm proud. And I can't believe how easily this brake pedal was fixed just by pulling on the brake pedal. I guess something down there was keeping it from coming all the way back, and that made it to where it was sticking. And now I'm gonna go check again, just for the hell of it. There it goes, spinning freely. No leaks nowhere. This is the Nissan 3.3 2002 Nissan Frontier. It's running like a shit run, and I congratulate myself here. I know I'm leaving a lot of things out, but that's the story behind this. It all started with the knock sensor. Four tries later, it works. Now I'm not getting any sticky calipers, so I'm gonna consider it fixed. So there you have it. Hope this helps somebody. You can ask me any question if you want on the comments. Thank you.